One second. Oh, God.
Welcome to the God Theory Podcast. This one's gonna rock, guys. We are talking. This is episode 24, which
This is
is my
breaking
favorite
news.
number. Yes, 24 is my favorite number, and this is my favorite topic. Wow. We got JT
Yeah.
Eberhard with us. If you
Hey,
guys don't know him, you're an
guys.
idiot.
He's going to give us a dramatic reading of the letter from the front lines of the war on Christianity
I can't-
from a modern day Rose Parks herself, Kim Davis.
Modern day Rose Parks. So who's gonna read this thing, JT or?
I can't do it. Like I've been covering this for the last 3 days. Like literally the day she got arrested, like I started at 8:30, and in the space of 7 hours I wrote 13 articles. And like at 3:30 I was like, holy shit, I haven't peed all day. I was like, but stuff's still happening. Like I'm monitoring like all the like as it's happening Twitter feeds, and I'm like, I can't pee. I have to keep covering this. Like I assume that's why you have me here. It's like no, the less time I just hold on. I just blogged this fucking stupid shit. Hold on, I need a MLK letter from a Birmingham jail.
So good. So she's in jail, and she has written a letter to all of her brothers and sisters in Christ.
Yeah, you guys get this for 30 more seconds, and I'm gonna jump in and rant like a motherfucker.
All right, I'm gonna read it with all the pathos that I can muster, and then we'll talk about it. And Jeremiah, if you just want to just chime in every time something is misspelled, so the readers at home, listeners at home, know what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay. To my brothers and sisters in Christ, as I sit here in my cell, I am reminded of God's words to Isaiah 41:10. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God.
Yeah, because faith can move mountains, it just can't open a fucking jail cell.
I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand.
Then why do you have lawyers?
God's strength, fueled by the love, support, and prayers.
It's all caps.
All
underlined.
caps and underlined.
I
have received.
are truly getting me by. It's true what they say. If God brings you to it, God brings you through it. 3 exclamation points.
I'm sure that was your outlook through each one of your appeals that you lost.
Wait, who does that? I've never heard that. Is this like an idiom?
She's like a Chicago Cubs fan. Like, if I just believe long enough, they're going to win it one day. And then, like, when they finally win one after hundreds of years, like, see, God brought me through it. Like, what about all those guys that were winning the entire time you were praying? What about them?
I have no
Irrelevant.
doubt your opinion of me has been swayed by the liberal media gotchas.
No, I
Yes.
follow your Twitter. It's been swayed by you.
I am here because there is a war, underlined, on Christians in America.
Being waged by who? The almost 100% Christian judges and justices in this country? The almost 100% Christian Congress? Are they the ones waging the war on you?
The past
The
43
judge,
Christian
Judge
presidents?
David Bunning, who put her in jail. He is a devout Catholic who disagreed with the Supreme Court on Obergefell, like about like one man, one woman marriage. He's with her on this, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not waging a war on her. She's just an asshole.
This country was founded on the beliefs of
Beliefs.
Christianity.
Oh yeah, for lives.
Two exclamation points, followed by all underlined twice. This is a fact.
Dude, okay, I'll tell you this. I'm in the business of spreading facts. It's called science, right? And I have never once in a paper when I've been discussing it been like, so it looks like people behave on behavioral principles and reinforcement schedules still work. This is a fact! And underline it. I've never said that or never put it in a slide. Never seen it either by
By
any
the
of
way,
my
this is
colleagues.
written on like wide-ruled notebook paper.
Wide rule.
It would have been written in crayon if she had access to them, I think.
Yeah.
I sit here with
Blood.
my underlined Bible close to my heart, comma. Communing, I think she's spelling communing, but she left an M off, with the Lord. I have a lot of time to think. I think of what Rose Parks must have felt.
Wait, Rosa Parks, David? Are you
Rose
No, Rosa
Parks.
Parks, the older homophobic sister.
Rose Parks.
Rose Parks was the one who was like, get your ass to the back of the bus, like her sister who just didn't get it.
Does she get points though for being a bigoted asshole Christian in the South and knowing even how to make that reference? or does she need to have the name right to actually get points?
There's no points involved here.
I think of what Rose Parks must
Lloyd
have felt.
fucking woman.
Here comes the zinger though.
Yeah, she had it easy. Let me tell you. The whole world! Exclamation point is watching me.
She had it easy. Is it hard being a white Christian in America?
Yeah, but JP, you got to understand the whole world is watching her, and she underlined 2 words in that sentence, so you know it's true. This is a fact.
Well, I know, and think about it. It was a whole different time.
In the middle of a preschool, bent down next to the slip and slide and took a shit, they'd all be watching you too. Like, if you do stupid shit, people watch.
All right, I was confused about the whole world watching her, so I just pulled up a Swedish newspaper really quick. Here are the headlines. Nordic tourists rush to help refugees in Greece. Foreign Minister, EU's credibility is at stake, and it looks like we're in for a long winter. I don't see anything about Kim Davis here.
Well, that's because you didn't look under the microscopes.
Yeah, you didn't look through it with faithful eyes, like through faith. That's the problem, you fucking heathen.
Under this microscope, I am now not only an example for my family, but for the millions on Christians in America facing persecution and the loss of their fundamental rights of religious freedom. Fundamental rights of religious freedom! Exclamation point, double underlined.
All caps. Religious freedom.
I can't even. I just can't fucking even.
I now know that I have been chosen for the highest purpose.
Well,
yeah, of all the people out there, God's like, who's my best and brightest? This backwoods dipshit.
He's got a real face for like a front man for this kind of movement.
I hate this woman.
So, second page.
Just
Jeremiah, read the second page.
hate this woman.
Here's the second page. This is all a trial from God above, and I ask that you read this passage from Luke 16:18 and think of me. Quote, "Consider it all joy, my brethren, when you encounter various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance." No end quote. So I'm only assuming that the next paragraph is still Paul talking. Paul says, "I thank the courageous men, Ted Cruz and Mr. Huckabee, for their unwielding support through these trying days. They understand the Christian way." And by the way, there's a lot of...
Yeah, these things are crossed out. She was attempting to proofread this letter. Like, she tried to proofread this letter.
She misspelled courageous. She misspelled Christian. How do you misspell Christian? Yeah, it's right there, Christian way. Look, it's scratched out. She's like, I almost misspelled Christian.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Is it okay? As Jesus told its disciples, I think it's supposed to be disciples. As Jesus told his disciples before his death, think of me fondly, think of me and pray. So now she's referring to herself as a Christ figure.
Yeah, like,
oh my god.
Oh my god, religion of humility. I'm the chosen one. I'm the hero.
Holy shit. This is insanity.
I can't spell, but I can sure motivate the masses. Oh my god, this... Ugh.
Oh, I love it, dude. This is you remember that moment whenever Trayvon Martin got shot by George Zimmerman, and there was a moment where everybody's like, "Is he a shitbag? I kind of feel like he's a shitbag." And that moment when it comes out and he's like does a homophobic rant on Twitter, and then he starts, what else did he do? He like shot some other people or something. Like all the moment that's validated when we're like, I just kind of think Kim Davis is a fucking idiot this whole time, and then this comes out. It's glorious.
Oh, she is a fucking idiot. Like. She's a special kind of special. Like it's
awesome.
This woman embarrasses idiots. She's.
Oh man, the best part is I love how there's a lot of people that are saying this is religious martyrdom. That this is she's being persecuted for her religious freedom. They've also used arguments such as this. I'll name some of these. God's law is higher than man's law.
Really? Then why is she in a jail cell?
Yeah.
If God's law is higher, why are man's laws keeping her in that jail cell? Huh?
Yeah, and honestly, a lot of the news, I've been reading the news on different headlines, but then I've also been reading your blog, and there's one that you put up where he says, what would JT do's handy guide to every argument you encounter on Twitter, I believe is the name of it. Yeah, you're here on Free Kim Davis.
I was poking a bunch of dirt fucks on the hashtag Free Kim Davis, and they just kept saying the same stuff, so I was like, just make it easy on myself.
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious. And under that, somebody said God's laws are higher than man's laws. You put, well, that's also if she's going to obey God's laws, rather than man's laws, a couple things ought to happen. One, she shouldn't have a job where her job is literally to fulfill man's laws. And two, God should be the one paying her salary rather than man's taxes. Oh my
The man's
god.
taxes thing came from Jim Wright at Stone Kettle Station, but it was just so goddamn good.
Oh man, it's hilarious. I just don't.
So true. And Christians are being persecuted. Like, really? Christians, plural? Because, like, I see all kinds of Christians running around who disagree with same-sex marriage, who think the Supreme Court got it wrong. Not in jail. No threat of ever going to jail anytime soon. The only one I see in jail is the one who also happened to be guilty of contempt of court. Like, this leads me to believe you're in jail for contempt of court, not because you're being persecuted for being a Christian.
Dude,
Like, this is like saying like there's a war on people who wear nothing but muumuus in every picture they get taken in. Like, no, like just you who committed contempt of court.
Oh man, there has been so I have a lot of members of my family on both sides of this debate, and one of the things they bring up. What? Yeah. And so there's one of the questions is that she didn't commit any crimes, like she's being jailed against her will. But what do you think about that?
Is there anybody who's being jailed? Well, I guess no, it's not against her will. Cause like she can leave whenever she wants. All she has to do is do her job. The moment she's like, you know what, the job I'm elected to do, I'm gonna do it. It's like, okay, you can leave jail. She's not doing it. Okay, so sorry. What was? Oh, she didn't commit any crime, right? That's it's a play on words. It's like people who speed. Like, oh, what crime did they commit? Well, they got a ticket. Like, they can still go to jail if they ignore the fucking ticket, right? So she gets sued, like a woman suing her deadbeat ex-husband for alimony, right? Like, that guy didn't break a law. He just lost a judge. He just lost a court case. He got sued and he lost. She got sued and she lost and got a judgment against her. She appealed that judgment to the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. They essentially said, stop wasting our time. She appealed that to the Supreme Court, who did, like, if the Supreme Court put any effort into it, it was trying to find the smallest amount of words to say no. Like, ordinarily there's an explanation. Your request for appeal is denied for X, Y, and Z reason. Justice Kagan was like, I brought this before the Supreme Court, we deny it. Like, that's all it said. Like, it might have well have also said, also, fuck you and stop wasting our time. We've ruled on this already. So this is not just some rogue judge, right? She lost the lawsuit. This was affirmed by the Sixth Circuit and the Supreme Court. She lost. She has no more appeals. So judgment is issued against her. She ignored the judgment. Anybody who ignores a judgment against them is guilty of contempt of court. Now, you might argue, like, she shouldn't be in jail. Well, on the surface, there's some teeth to that. Because when someone's held in contempt of court, the law says the goal is to coerce them to comply with the law, not to punish them. And so you're supposed to start with the smallest thing that could compel compliance, which usually is fines. Mm-hmm. You know, a good idea, like, you make $333 a day. I actually worked that out on my blog before taxes. Makes $333 a day. I'm in a total wrong career path. So, like, fine her $1,000 a day until she flies straight. But the thing is, and the judge noted this, that it's plain she's gonna, like, people will pay her fines for her. She'll get donation after donation. She will not feel any burden if she's fined. And she even said, like, fines won't compel me to comply with the law. Like, she said that. They even cited that. It's like, okay, we go to option number 2. We throw your ass in jail. Like, the reason she's in jail is because of her. Like, I don't see how you can complain about this. So did she commit a crime? Civil contempt is not technically a crime, but admitting that isn't the same as saying she shouldn't be in jail. She should definitely be in jail.
Yeah. Well, but JT, the Supreme Court's not supposed to make decisions or make laws like this.
Common law, like, let me bring up the Wikipedia page on common law and this. Okay, so, like, anyone who says this, like, I know they're channeling Mike Huckabee. This is his talking point.
Yep.
Supreme Court can't make laws. Okay, common law. Common law, also known as case law or precedent, is law developed by judges through decisions of courts and similar tribunals that decide individual cases, as opposed to statutes adopted through the legislative process or regulations issued by the executive branch. Literally took me 10 seconds to look up on Wikipedia. Like just now. Literally 10 fucking seconds, all right?
But you're not running for president, so...
Yeah.
Did we ever pass legislation that said mixed-race couples could get married? No. Loving v. Virginia, 1967, Supreme Court. Like, Article 3, Section 1 of the Constitution creates the Supreme Court and vests it with the responsibility on ruling on the constitutionality of laws. That is literally its job. They ruled on the constitutionality of gay marriage bans and found them to be unconstitutional. And if bans against gay marriage are unconstitutional, guess what happens? Gay people can get married. They literally said that the Supreme Court, or the Constitution said this is the Supreme Court's job. They did it, and you literally can't ban them from marrying now. That's the result.
Wait, that sounds like exactly what they're doing, JT. That doesn't... Sounds like they're doing their job.
They're doing their job. Like, and the thing is, these people don't have a fucking thought for themselves. They're just like, oh, Mike Huckabee said it. He's brilliant. He's running for president. He's a really smart guy. No, he's a dumb fuck who knows you won't do any research.
So the GOP candidates
he's either a dumb fuck who can't spend 10 seconds on Wikipedia, or he knows what's up and he thinks you're a fucking idiot. Pick one.
The GOP candidates have weighed in and they said, we agree with her stance, but she needs to obey the law. She needs to comply because that's how our legal system works. But we do support the fact that gays should be married.
Yeah,
Just kidding. They didn't say that at all. What they said was...
No, actually, you know who Lindsey Graham is, right? He's running for president. He's a senator or House. I think he's Senate out of South Carolina, running for president. Like, this guy is as hardcore conservative as it gets. Even he said, like, yeah, I don't agree with same-sex marriage, but she's got a job to do. Like, when Lindsey Graham is telling you to do your job, it's probably in time to do it.
Yeah, Joel Osteen gives her a call and he's like, dude, you gotta get your shit together. Stop taking this stuff so literally.
Right?
Well, okay, what about Rose Parks? She's like Rose Parks, right? And I assume she meant Rosa Parks when she wrote Rose Parks?
No, she meant Rose Parks' older homophobic sister. Like the Rosa Parks' self-loathing sister, Rose Parks. It's like, no, we belong in the back of the bus. Let's go. Like,
Rosa, stop making waves!
Rosa, stop rocking the boat. What are you doing?
Yeah.
She's really standing up for her fellow minorities, just like Rose Parks did.
You're right. No, she's literally in jail because she was abusing a government job to stop a minority from getting a government service to which they're legally entitled. Their rights. Like, she's not Rosa Parks. She's the fucking bus driver that refused to move the bus until they got in the back of the bus where they belong. Ah!
We need a Rosa Parks to help fight Kim Davis.
Kim Davis is the person who necessitated Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King Jr. She's not them. She's the reason for them.
Well, that's the point. Like, she named her letter after.
Yeah, letter from a Carter County jail. She's trying to be Martin Luther King.
What's her Twitter hashtag right now?
Her
ML Kim.
Martin Luther Kim.
Okay,
yeah.
she didn't come up with that. Other people have been doing that because her dirt fuck attorneys are trying to present her as the next great civil rights hero.
Well, but
stupidly, they started by having her deny civil rights to a minority. Kind of a dumb way to go about it, but that's the way they chose. Sorry,
well, the
what were you saying? I'm in a rage.
She did just put her husband, I guess, is running it according to you, but they just put.
She used the hashtag.
Yeah, she used the hashtag. She's obviously signed on to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and her letter even paints it like, I'm the next great civil rights hero. She was like, God chose me. Like, there are educated religious people in the world. There are smart religious people in the world. God looked past all of them and was like, this one, this person. Like, she's my chosen
that extra
one. I'm not going to help her get out of
makes
jail
her
so she can do
perfectly
my work
suited.
so much, but her. Fucking idiots. Fucking idiots. Everybody on the Free Kim Davis hashtag is a fucking idiot, or they're making fun of the fucking idiots. It's one or the other.
Well, so what do you think about this? Isn't it okay? So I'm gonna put this. I'm playing devil's advocate here, by the way, for any of our listeners.
No.
If they don't already know, they should know. I'm definitely on your side. But So isn't this an issue? And I'm pretending I'm a Fox News host here. Isn't this an issue
Right.
of religious freedom? We're talking about Kim Davis being able to do whatever she wants because she feels this religious conviction not to do it. It's sort of like actually, hang on, I'll put that Stephen Colbert aside and I'll speak from actually me. I do kind of see some argument about people say you don't have to make a cake. So on one side, the make a cake for a gay couple, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I see that. If you want to be a bigot, you can technically be a bigoted asshole. But then again, no, not really, because you can't ban like black people from coming into your establishment or baking cake for homosexuals. So it's sort of one of these areas that you kind of need some interpretation. But back up with the Fox News thing. So this is a religious freedom, JT. She's practicing her religious freedom. She has religious convictions, and they need to go find another way to become married. What do you say to that?
Okay. Well, what would you say to? Okay, so what if a Muslim DMV employee wanted to deny women driver's licenses? Like, is that fair? No. Could they go somewhere else and get it? Yes, they shouldn't have to. They pay taxes in the county. The authority to issue that license is not the DMV employee, it's the office he occupies. He is employed to fulfill the obligations of that office, right?
Right.
His personal religious freedoms apply to him as a private citizen, not as the arbiter of that office. Like, absolutely not. If you give them can't they just drive somewhere to get a marriage license? Sure. And in Kentucky, how many other clerks will stop issuing them marriage licenses on that rationale? Fucking all of them. As long as one place in the entire United States offers marriage license, you'd be like, go there, drive to California, get your marriage license. No, they pay taxes in the county. It's there to serve all of their citizens. And one person citing personal religious rights can't obfuscate that. Like, that's the rule of the Supreme Court. Your personal religious freedom makes sure the government can never take you and put you in a job and say you have to do this job, even if it's against your religious convictions. It doesn't say you get to have a job and then get paid to not fucking do it. It doesn't say you get to abuse a government office to deny a service to the citizens you were elected to represent, whose well-being you're charged with augmenting. You can't do that.
Right. That's a distinction that's really important. Is why I asked that question. Is that it's not about her. She doesn't get to interpret who gets a marriage license, or she doesn't get to interpret like the DMV. They don't get to interpret whether I get one or not. They're not like, I don't like you because I don't like. Well, for me, I guess it'd be like a white male or something, but that's probably not going to happen. But if they're like, I just don't like white males, like they don't get to do that. They don't get to say I interpret who gets driver's licenses.
Mm-hmm. The authority isn't theirs. It's the office they're in.
Man, so I wonder how this is all going to turn out. I wonder if she's going to... Do you think she'll buckle under pressure?
Okay, well, first we have to deal with the appeals. And one of the appeals they will make doesn't have a 0 chance of losing. And it's the appeal... She'll appeal the severity of the punishment, that she got thrown in jail immediately instead of fined first. Because the law does say that you can't just be excessive. And you're supposed to compel, so you start small and get bigger. I don't think they'll win that appeal because she flat out said fines won't compel me to obey, and the judge who's on her side was like, okay, fuck off, like get to go to jail then. So no, what I think I'd do, so the people representing her, the Liberty Council, they have 2 big budgets: their alert budget, which is like email alerts, fundraising, all that, and their defense budget. One of them has 11 times more money than the other. Can you guess which one it is?
I'm gonna guess. No, I'm pretty sure I know.
Yeah, it's their fundraising budget. 11 times more than their defense budget, because that's just what they do. They come out with scaremongering stories of war on Christians and Christians being persecuted, and people just fucking send them all their money, because if you're looking for people who are gullible to send you all their money, people who believe a guy rose from the dead 2,000 years ago are probably a pretty good place to start. So what they'll do is they'll sit there and just continue fundraising nonstop off of this, losing all their appeals, which is what they do. I mean, the Liberty Council loses pretty much every court case they take. Doesn't bother them because they're raising money. That's what they're there to do.
Yeah.
So she'll sit there until her term is up and a new clerk is elected, and then she'll walk because she can no longer delegate her authority to give out marriage licenses because she doesn't have the authority. So yeah, and the martyrbation crowd will continue to martyr bait and
Martyr bait. I
martyr
don't.
dumb.
What I try to do is I try to read both sides of everything, no matter what. Hold on, let me get this up. And so just to make sure that I'm not making an error, and it's exactly that habit that caused me to become secular. It caused me to leave Christianity, is because I tried to read both sides of everything, and one is obviously more truthful, almost always. But
I'm with you. If this were a case of a Christian getting thrown in jail for being a Christian, like, I think religion is bad for the earth. I think Christianity is bad for the earth. I try to convince people to not be Christians. But I think religious freedom is an excellent, excellent, excellent virtue. And if this were really a case of a Christian being thrown in jail for being a Christian, man, I'd be in Kentucky right now screaming bloody murder on her side. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to look at this from both sides. And the only real conclusion is this woman is an idiot who somehow makes more money than you and I ever will. Oh no, you're getting a PhD. You might be a clinician and make more money than her. But like, she's making tons of money, and she's just being taken for a ride from these people who knew they were going to lose every appeal from the beginning, who are making shitloads of money. And do you know what Son of Sam laws are?
That sounds familiar. I don't recall that.
Okay, Son of Sam laws are something that's in 41 states, and including Kentucky. It essentially says you can't make money off being convicted of a crime. You can't write a book. You can't sell movie rights. Like, you just can't make money off it. You can't make money being a criminal. And that includes any donations that come in. And the pretty standard practice for enforcing those laws is if you get a bunch of donations for being a criminal, they go to the victims. So the couples she's refused marriage licenses to, if she gets a bunch of donations, like, I would not at all be surprised to see the ACLU go after that donation money for their clients. Why not? Wow. It's theirs, right? So she's going to have a hard time making money. Now, there are some Christian fundraising sites that are less scrupulous than sites like GoFundMe. Of course, morals, what can you do? But she's going to have a hard time making money. Meanwhile, these lawyers representing her, who knew they were going to lose, who knew she was probably going to get punished, I don't know if they foresaw jail, but knew she was going to get punished, they're making money hand over fist. She's being taken for a complete ride from these people. So look at both sides. But you want to know the truth? The truth is she's a victim of her lack of intellect. She's a victim of her religion that's put her in this position, thinking she's some kind of righteous warrior, and it has enabled these lawyers at the Liberty Council, Matt Staver, to make her a victim of them. That's where we stand.
That's insane, man. Yeah, well, I don't know what to say about that.
Look at both sides. Like, I want you to look at both sides. And like, I'm not against Christian people. I'm against their religion, but like, I still want to defend their rights. What's going on here?
I looked at both sides. I read, like, I've got a brother-in-law who's a pastor, and he's very, very, religiously convicted about all that. I read his entire thoughts in his blog on that.
Not as convicted as Kim Davis.
yeah, in both senses.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. But it was but then I read your stuff too, and I read all over, and I think it's pretty one-sided. Like, you broke the law, you go to jail, and it doesn't matter what your religious convictions are. She wouldn't have been a martyr had she had just quit. She could have just been like, I can't do this, it's too much. And if she would have had enough flair, she would have blown up, went viral, be like, some Kansas City clerk or Kentucky clerk quit her job over the fact that she was forced to marry gays. Now she's on the streets. But no, instead she chose to go to jail.
And she wouldn't be subject to Son of Sam laws. She can make money then.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, she kind of screws herself. Or, like he said, is the victim of she's just another Fox News casualty.
Everyone's asking me on Twitter, did you mean Rosa Parks? No, the article. Now you look. Let me copy that before I hit tweet, just so I send it to everyone.
Well, alrighty. That pretty much wraps.
And you know what's really stupid? There have been public officials who have tried to give same-sex marriage before it was legal a leg up. They shouldn't have been doing it, and the Liberty Council made statements on them and even sued some of them. And countless times, Matt Staver has said in court documents, and I can cite some of them to you, public officials should never be above the law. Now all of a sudden,
wow. It's complete 180. It's weird. It's almost like they're emotional reasoning rather than any logical consistency there. But yeah, Well, anyway, hey, it was good having you on. I'm running up on time, and I picked you
Thanks, man.
specifically because I like reading all this stuff, but then I've also, I found, I've obviously we're friends, so I follow your blog. I don't always read all your stuff because, you're prolific, but and I'm busy. But for this one, I've read every fucking one of these because they're hilarious. Specifically, I have to. I'm going to plug it again, so you don't have to shamelessly self plug. But do the it's under his WWJTD blog. What would JT do? It's on Pathos.com. Look up. You can even Google this. Or it's on our God Theory podcast page, Facebook page. But WWJTD, handy guide to every argument you'll hear on hashtag Free Kim Davis on Twitter. One, it's informative. It's good to know. Two, it's hilarious. I mean, like, I was open mouth laughing multiple times.
Okay, you want to hear something funny?
What?
So I blog for a living. I get paid per hit. We're on the 5th day of the month. I have 75% of my usual monthly blog traffic right now, thanks to Kim Davis paying my bills.
Yeah, you don't have any Son of Sam laws. Fuck that. Son of Satan laws.
I am Son of Satan laws. Dude, Satan followed me on Twitter the other day.
Yes, victory.
I was like, oh, atheists worship Satan. I was like, no, Satan worships me.
Yeah, follow my shit. Retweet me, Satan.
He has been.
Get behind me.
Oh, my life is weird. All right.
So, people want to find you. If they don't already follow you, where can they find you?
On the Pathos Network, if you just Google WWJTD, it'll be the first thing that comes up.
Awesome.
Or just Google my name, it'll be the first thing that comes up.
Also,
JT
they can follow you on
Eberhard.
They can see your trolling on Twitter at JT Eberhard.
Educating.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant. JT at JT Eberhard, all one word.
Yeah.
And obviously, you can follow us as well. Twitter.com/GodTheoryPod. And dude, come much better than that. You can come join the Facebook page. I mean, we have like probably a post every day, if not every 2 posts a day. Like people posting like funny stuff, fun stuff, informative stuff, and it's a great community. But it's small, but it's been growing. Let's see. So you can find us at facebook.com/groups and then God Theory Podcast. And you can also just Google God Theory Podcast. Now, one caveat, this is a closed group, I think it's called, a private group. So whatever you post in there you won't be outed to your friends. You can be as atheist as you want to be without anyone knowing, which is a benefit of our community. Also, you're going to get a lot of positive support. And when people have called out for things in need, I mean, people stepped up. It's been good. It's been a good place. I really enjoy it. So part of my passion is to help build this community, and that's what we're doing. JT, thank you for coming on. You were all hilarious as always, and good to have some of your passion on here.
All right, take care, dude.
All right, take care. See you guys next week.